more time, 'cause you got it. Up above my head, up above my head. Feel music in the air, hear music in the air. Up above my head, up above my head. Feel music in the air, hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I really do believe this is yours somewhere. That last line one more time. I really do believe this is yours somewhere.
With this talent. Consider that for a moment. Yeah, we are. We missed you. We missed you.
I missed you all too. It's been a while.
It has. It's been too long a while. So, welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I am Reverend Penni, and it is, and I say this, I say this often. So I just want to stop for a moment, and I want to say, it's my joy. It's my joy, and it's an honor to walk your spiritual journey with you. You know, not everybody gets to do that. Yeah, because I'm special. And so are you. So thank you for that. You know, all are welcome. We like to say, you're going to help me finish this sentence. This is not a slogan. It is a Principle. Okay, we're gonna work on that one. And what is it? Blank, not rules. Rules. Yeah. All right. So 50%. Yeah, that sounds like a Super Bowl. And there you go.
I think he said you're the tools and Penny brings the rules.
So wrong. So thank you for being with us for the first time. If you were here for the first time, I promise not to embarrass you any more than I embarrass anybody else, including myself. So if they gave you some propaganda at the door, please make sure and drop that in the bucket as the bucket's coming around. We like to stay in touch. And I'll stay in touch until you tell me to go away. And then I'll go away. Well, mostly. We are here to support you in affirmative prayer because unity is built on affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer. That means that I'm going to affirm with you the good that is already true in your life. And how deeply or how painful something may be, I'm going to see through that with you to see the good. That's what affirmative prayer is. If you don't leave here today feeling affirmed, that's on you. Find somebody that tells you how amazing you are before you leave here today. If you don't hear it somehow from up here. Yeah. Ask a prayer partner. Where are my prayer partners in the room for prayer support today? They're here to support you in that. They're amazing. It's an amazing group. We appreciate the consciousness they hold around this community. 1-800-NOW-PRAY, 24/7. Silent Community has been there, what, over 100 years, right? Not the same guy at the phone, but they have always been there. But they will pick up and they will say, how may I support you?
He's grown very tired.
He's grown very tired. Yeah. He's doing more of a meditation thing now. Yeah. Contact the center here at 928-526-8893 if you'd like to connect. I'll be happy to pray with you. So check that out. And speaking of prayer, I would like to invite Mr. Steve Huffman, one of our newest additions to the prayer team. Round of applause. And Steve influenced my outfit today. This scarf was Steve's mother's. Well, it's good to be me. And I'm celebrating. Thank you, Steve.
All right, if you all please join me and close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. So right now, I'm knowing that there is one power, one infinite being, one presence that is everywhere and within each one of us. And I put this idea out that we all be a little open, a little aware to find out something we might hear, something that might strike a chord in a message or the music today that will allow us to express more of who we really are. So Liz.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you. And now I am going to bring to the front my amazing friend, Miss Trina Getz, who happens to also be the PA for the day. So we're grateful to have you here, Trina. Trina said to me, okay, so this little fair warning, right? She says to me this morning, she goes, I am so fired up about this inspirational moment. Right? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. This is the place that you are given the opportunity to express who you are. It may not look like that, it may not look like this, and my voice certainly, even without a cold, doesn't sound like that one over there in the corner, right? But we are here to express that. So thank you. Thank you, Trina.
All right. But before you get to the inspirational moment, I'm Trina, by the way. I'm thrilled to be back. I was gone last week visiting, going to Mesa to see the Savannah Bananas. They're a radically hilarious exhibition baseball team out of Savannah, Georgia. But now they tour nationwide. Funny as can be. Google it. They're hilarious. Anyway, so that's what I did with my sandwiches. And now I'm back. I'm thrilled. So we are going, and that'd be one of my gratitudes, by the way. And that segues perfectly into the fact that we are going into our gratitude and prayer requests right now. So if you have something weighing on your heart, if you have something you're thrilled to share with us, this is your time to do that. And keep in mind that God knows the details, and we are on, a schedule. So share.
She means we have a hook.
Share. And we're thrilled to hear from you.
So be vulnerable, but keep it quick.
I don't know how to keep it quick.
All right.
I'm just happy I'm not in that hospital anymore and I'm here to chat.
We are too, Michael. Gosh, it was quiet in this room.
What?
What?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, thank you.
So a lot of you probably heard my mom passed away a couple of weeks ago. That's why I was not here last weekend. And so I want to just really give thanks. I was talking with Penny on Wednesday, and my mom's been sick for a couple of years. And I've had a tremendous amount of support from our prayer team and Penny, and I've had people in Southern California when I traveled there to be with my mom as well, that have been really supportive of her and me. So I just appreciate all those folks.
To walk through these things in people's lives. I always get blessed. And as I reminded you, all of that support and love and light that you experience, Steve, is a reflection of who you are in the world. And we celebrate that.
Hi, I would like prayers for a friend of mine who a week ago yesterday went into ICU. She fell and she had she's been having like TIAs and she's been in ICU for almost a week. She's all black and blue and barely able to walk, and I would really like to see her get well and be able to move around and be okay. Her name is Pam.
So I can see that with you also, Marilyn. And I also will affirm that she's perfect and whole right now. And that she is healing at depth. And we release what that expresses as in her life. And we find peace in that and around that. We know her as whole and perfect. Now we see her aligning with her highest intended expression of health. We see it now.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Last week I put out a prayer request for my fiance Jane and I to find the perfect home that God wanted us to have. Thursday we went to Scottsdale and bought a pristine time capsule 1979 double wide that's going to get moved to the property in Camp Verde. So that's a blessing. Absolutely. Yeah, that's good prayer. Because we looked at some crappy ones that we thought we might buy. But this is better. And also, she and I set a date, March 16th on a Sunday. Her daughter's going to marry us that day.
I feel like I missed a lot since I've been going.
You gotta keep up, man. Come on, keep up, Brian. So, gosh, right? I just celebrate your discernment around knowing what crappy is and what isn't. And drawing to the two of you, co-creating exactly how you wanted to express with that. And we are congratulating you, Daniel. We are celebrating you and Jane. What a cool thing, don't you think? Yeah. Now we just got to get Camp Verde a little closer to Flagstaff.
I don't know, it's close enough.
Prayer's pretty strong. Watch out. So we're celebrating. Yes.
I've got one.
Oh, good.
Despite all the craziness in the world, I'm very glad to be back in the United States. I was in India for like 2 weeks. One of my former students, it's kind of cool to see the progression of things. She was an exchange student over a decade ago, and she got married and invited me and my whole family. So we took a 2-year-old and flew 25 hours there and 30 hours back. And it was really, other than getting sick once and, getting what they call the deli belly, as Bruce Higgins put it. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to have been part of so many youth and kids' lives in that different part of my life. And to see it come back around, we got there and she had a photo album that we gave her when we left. And it was so weird to see my work at a church almost 11, 12 years ago and see all the kids really young. She's a 27-year-old woman now getting married. It was just a really special experience to be there. Insane, but I was very grateful to be back and to have water I can drink that's safe. And, it's quite an experience. Oh, and my daughter's turning 2 on Tuesday.
I was telling the story. Thank you. And we're glad you're back too. And we're glad you're back safe and sound.
And about to be gone for 5 weeks.
And about to be gone for 5 weeks. Yeah, there you go. But, and we're grateful for that. Because that's making a living, right?
Hopefully.
But I was telling the story. The day that Ryan announced that he and Sammy were pregnant, he said, I got a gratitude. He pulls out his phone and he plays the heartbeat from the ultrasound to tell us, and the room melted. Yeah. So, I think it's cool to be a part of lives like that, don't you? That we get to witness that. So we're having that same experience as you witnessed with your former student.
Yeah.
We're watching that happen. It is a cool thing. It's a cool progression, except for the aches and pains. Those I could do without some days, but yeah. So thank you, Ryan. All right, Miss Sandra.
I have a prayer request, a gratitude, and a shameless plug.
Oh man, she's getting her money's worth.
I've been gone for a while, and I was going through some hiccups of what I want my next chapter to be spiritually, and where I want it to be, and questions, and where, what I want that to look like, and kind of left it up to the universe. And last week I had such an amazing time, both in service and then in crucial conversations afterwards, and everything that I was seeking in terms of connection and direction and where I want to grow was answered. And so I'm just so deeply grateful to be back, to have new people here. It's just an honor to watch this grow. And my prayer request is I have several people in my life right now that are really in a tough spot, and they're really struggling, and they just need some light, and they need to remember it's only temporary. And so there's several, and they know who they are, and so I'm sending them out to them. And the shameless plug is I am leading Crucial Conversations next month, and so the topic will be privacy. Are we as sick as our secrets? So if you want to come and sit with some really cool people and have deep conversations, it will be next Sunday, Sunday, March 2nd, right after service. So thank you all so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Round of applause. Okay, so I want that recipe. I attended service and I went to Crucial Conversations and I got every answer I was looking for. Sign me up. Anybody? We're celebrating that with you, Sandra. This is what we do. We celebrate that, right? Okay, Gary, go.
First, a shameless plug.
I love these shameless plugs.
Penny said, if you go and pay $19.95, you'll get transformation. For the last 2 weeks, I've done that. And in addition to my time, it is amazing. So if you'd like to have an extra
It's $19.95. You too.
It's way cheaper than Scientology. It's a deal. It's a deal.
But wait!
But wait, there's more. You know, are we allowed to have this much fun? And it's working. 19, because I jokingly said, I started to say something, and I said after I finished, I said, gosh, that sounded like one of those late night commercials. And for $19.95, you took it. So he writes a $19.95 check and holds it up.
And I got a call. What was this check for?
Yeah.
Somebody that, okay, now to be more serious.
Okay.
I'd like your prayers for a little girl whose name is Maria Gonzalez. It's not her real name, but that God knows her name. And her mother was a meth head, and her father's and all the guys she dated were meth heads. And she was born, and DCS encouraged her to go to another family member. Well, and she has a first birthday in February. And I got called by the potential grandmother because they looking at pictures of the child and saying, who we thought was the father of the child is not the father, it's somebody else. And that my claim would be the grandmother if that were true. And so the child's been with what they thought was the daughter of the father. Okay.
Fast forward.
I told my client I was unwilling to go over with the police and essentially remove the child forcefully with the police officer. And I said, we have to go through the court system. I don't know what's right. I know I have a job. I have to represent grandmother or potential grandmother. I just want prayers that the right and perfect thing happen. And that we surround her and her foster family who's been caring for her, changing her diaper, feeding her, comforting her, and we surround all of them with angels and have the right thing happen.
And so it is. Yeah, right? Is this what affirmative? Take a breath. Come on now. Take a breath. Got it? Yeah, that's information, isn't it? Gary's been doing family law for 40 plus years. Do you think there have ever been any lives that have been influenced by that? By the love? By the care? That's who we are. He is a perfect representative of who we are in this community. We already know that little girl to be safe. We already see her protected. And we see her receiving from this experience that which will elevate her expression. And we get out of judgment. And we get out of fear. Take a breath. Feel it? Take a breath. Yeah. We're going to see through it. We're not denying that it's happening in her life, but we are denying the power it has over her. That's what we're doing. Got it? There we go. Thank you, Gary. Be willing to use the microphone? Yes, I can use the mic.
My hands are really shaky and sweaty because
It's okay.
it's intimidating. Like because you guys have made us feel so welcome. I feel like I've been part of this group and only been there a few times. And each time I come in, I come with such positive energy, just I feel it. And for that reason is I'm going to speak up and ask for some prayer for some news that we received on the family side that caught us off guard. Found out that one of my grandson was diagnosed with loss hearing. He's almost deaf. So we found that very hard because my daughter's dealing with it, thinking she did something wrong, that she was a problem. Like, no, honey, now that we know that he's losing his hearing or has no hearing, he's deaf here, we can now do something about it. We can now be here, support, technology's advanced, things are new, and we need to learn sign language. Now we have a valid reason to learn how to do something else to be able to communicate with them. But spending time with them
someone new to this world, and that we'll be able to support her. And even families, like grandma's asking, what can we all do? And everyone's sitting here, everyone's supportive. I also want to give prayer for my daughter to give her that strength, that she doesn't feel she's that parent, and that she has all the support around. And most thankful for being able to even be here for grandma. She brought me in here, so sticking around now, and thankful for grandma too, and being able to have her. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, these little ones, they touch our hearts, don't they? It kind of goes straight in, doesn't it? You feel that? Yeah, so just feel that for a second. Because you know what? Every one of us started there. We were all those little ones. And it is through love and support and care, even from places that we may not see it coming from, that we're healed and we're held in the light. She could never be any less than that, right? And a grandson knows already this is not new to him. He's got this. God is great expressing through his life. Who knows what wondrous things that little child may do because he didn't hear somebody out of that ear. How many things could we maybe have released easier if we hadn't had to hear him? So we see him strong. We see her drawing from that strength. We claim that within her. She's got this and God's got her. And she's got a heck of a mama to support her and a really cool grandmama, right? Thank you. Yeah.
Here. I would just like to create a prayer for the world, really, and the ripple effect of the political climate and all the fear that's generated and generating. I would love to change that to light and love, and know that what we focus on is what grows.
Yeah, round of applause. I suppose you're 100% in that. So let's do it now. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting to see love and light around our country, around our world? Let's do it right now. Take a breath. See light. Share love. Know that it is situational truth that we stand in with all that's buzzing around us. And it is changeable and ever changing. The truth of who we are is the truth of who we are. And that's what we're bringing to the table. That's who we are. Do it now. And every time a thought crosses your mind that brings you distress or fear or concern, take a breath and send it. Do it now. Light and love doesn't wait. Peace, comfort, healing. This is the power of who we are. Do it now. Thank you for the reminder.
Hello.
Hi. Glad you're here.
This is my first time here, and I've been in Flagstaff for almost 6 months now. I just moved here about 6 months ago after traveling for a few years, and I'm from Michigan.
That's okay.
No, I get it. I totally get it. There's a reason I left the Midwest.
Me too.
I'm 26 and I've kind of been searching for, I didn't realize I was searching for a place to land a couple of years ago. I'm like, I'm going to travel for the rest of my life. And I do love travel. It's very freeing for me. It helps me regain my solitude and all of that sometimes when I lose it. But I've never felt safe somewhere. I think that's part of the reason I traveled a lot. But this is the first time I've ever gained authentic community. I'll say that because I've had community before, but not community that valued me as me. Felt safe, have gained more stability than I've ever had before in a very short amount of time. And just, in general, like for me, feeling safe is everything. It makes me come out of my shell a lot more. I think I'm very interesting. I'm very out there with
I
every
agree
part
with
of
you.
me.
I think I'm interesting too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't mind, man. I get it, darling. I get it.
If we're reflecting, God, then of course we're interesting. Of course we're awesome.
Bingo!
To love yourself is to love others. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others. And that is what I've learned in the last few years of doing a lot of inner reflection and stuff. And now I'm ready to come back out and learn how to trust people again.
I love it.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll finish the prayer.
Exactly.
I've taken a long time. Prayer. A couple days ago, like 3 days ago, I was behind on a bill on my car, the one that drove me here, and it was also my source of income. I was full-time DoorDasher. I liked being my own boss and having that freedom, and I made a lot more than I ever have. I got repossessed, and they hiked up the price to where I couldn't get it back. So now I'm looking for work, and I don't have transportation aside from my maybe a bike.
You don't have transportation yet.
Yeah, I know that, but like currently at this moment, yeah.
I get it, but we're gonna affirm with you. And we're gonna see it with you.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, already happening. And yet, YET, yes, everything transforms. Yeah, that's what yet is. Everything transforms. So we're seeing that with you. We're celebrating all this ground that you covered. We're unfolding this. Keep your eye out for the miracle in this. I know it kind of sucks to have a car repossessed. Believe it or not, I have experienced that. Right? It's ugly. Then I had a towing company and I repossessed cars.
They were immediately aggressive about it. I was like, hold up.
So we're sending love there. See, that's our work, to send love there so that your experience can be transformed into something that serves you.
That would be a nice change.
So let's affirm it now. I'm blessed. I'm being blessed right now. I'm being blessed right now, and this is transforming to serve me. That's what we're doing right now. Okay?
I am pretty blessed right now.
You are, and we're grateful to have you here. Oh, man, I am working commission today, I'm telling you.
I have a prayer request, a continuing prayer request. You guys have been praying for a couple of my friends. One had a stroke and he's doing much better. The other one has colon cancer and he is doing much better. And so continue to keep them in your prayers. Kevin is his name, and also Brad. So please continue. And I have a huge gratitude. And the gratitude is, you guys have been praying for one of my clients to find a home since last June. And we have gone through a lot. And her father passed away from an ultralight accident. And I mean, you guys have just kept her in prayer and kept her in prayer and kept her in prayer. And I've hung in there with her. And on Thursday, February 6th, she closed on her very first home. So thank you for all the prayers, because this is a powerful congregation.
There is. Yes, and we're affirming continued healing, right? And we're just celebrating. This is not the end of her journey. This is a brand new opening to the next leg of it, right? So we're just seeing that come easy for her, easier than the sale and the finding of their house. Yeah, we're going to affirm that. All right, Miss Selena.
It's lovely to hear all that's going on in the community. It really warms my heart. Here's just a quick announcement for today. We wanted to check in with you guys whether there's any more people who haven't signed up for the new member training that we are hosting after the service. If I could just see raised hands if there's anybody who wants to attend that. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you, Celine. See, I told her, I said, when I forget to say that, will you remember? She did. It's a cool thing. Okay. All right. Excellent. So, that's fine. Yep. Look, we're doing sign language. It's good to be us. Take a breath. We've heard a lot of cool stuff, huh? And we've heard some things that ping our hearts. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it back over to Trina now. Take a deep breath. We've done a lot of work, Trina, haven't we? Just wait. Just wait. Oh, I love hearing that. All right. And away we go.
So, we are grateful for the power of prayer and the good news spoken here today, and the prayers spoken here today. We affirm the good in all. So it is, and so we let it be. Now it is time for our unity principle. So let's read that together. Number one, excuse me. God is everywhere and always present in every circumstance. This divine energy underlies and animates all of existence.
This is the short version of that principle.
All right, it is time for an inspirational moment, and I'm about to get radical. I watched Penny's talk last week about radical acceptance, and I have been struggling with some stuff, and that was kind of the key that unlocked it. So I'm trying to breathe as I can. So my husband is a very Buddhist-inspired individual, and he's always talking from the Zen patriarch about be not attached to your preferences. You know, when I get spun up about what's going on out there, and who hasn't lately, be not attached to your preferences. Be neither for or against. So that's what he comes back to, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get that, and I agree with that. You know, just go within, whatever. But I struggle with that because how does anything change if all we're doing is just, right? I mean, there's something missing. For me, there's something missing. So I thought about that. And he was also talking about how what you resist persists, and I agree with that as well. You know, so don't resist things, right? What you do not accept, so this gets to radical acceptance, what you do not accept, you are actually not only holding on to, you are cementing in place. Cementing in place that which you do not prefer, right? So the more you resist it, the more you're actually making it so, and making it continue to be so. So how does that, obviously people have resisted over the years, right? I mean, Martin Luther King, Malala, so many. Pick a name, there are many. They've resisted over the years. But here's the thing. It doesn't say, it says be not attached to your preferences. It doesn't say don't have a preference. Right? Yeah. So the key is to not be in resistance to that which you are experiencing. It's radically accepting. Or as my husband put it, and I love to this, radical non-attachment. Radical non-attachment. Radical acceptance. So let me show you how this works. Okay, so you're not so much resisting what is as you are envisioning what could be. Right? So, yes. So, and the resistance part is important because Martin Luther King didn't say, I have a dream that there will be no segregation. I didn't have a dream that I won't be told to sit at the back of the bus. He was told, his dream, that was his vision statement, that speech. That was his vision statement, and he said, I have a dream of what I want to So when we get into a space of radical non-attachment, radical acceptance, we see the divinity of what is, even if it's not our preference. We can come to a state of peace with that is, even if it is not our preference. So once we're no longer arguing with reality, as Byron Katie would say, we are open to divine inspiration. That's where God comes in. So divine intervention, we are able to hold a vision of what could be, right? What could be instead of what's next. We have a collective vision of what could be. And more importantly, we see our part in it. We can be open to seeing what's mine to do in that. So Martin Luther King had this vision. I see a world where little boys and little black boys and little black girls play together, a desegregated world. And he saw his part in it. He was led to do certain things because of that. So that's how I saw this all tying together with this thing that I've been struggling with for several weeks now. So, and sometimes what you're called to do is nothing, by the way. I mean, my husband had an email a couple days ago, got all spun up about it. And after he stopped resisting it, got into radical acceptance, radical non-attachment, he came to realize there's nothing he needed to do about the email. Everything was fine, but he had to get to that place where he was led to what was next, and sometimes what's next is nothing, but a lot of times it's something. So, your next right thing is part of the collective change that we're all envisioning, whatever that next right thing is for you. My next right thing, going to school tomorrow and working with those beautiful kiddos, bringing up that next generation, That's for me. So step one, be open to your next right, or step one, find radical acceptance. Be at peace with what is. Don't resist it. Step two, be open to the vision of what can be. Step three, be open to your next right thing, whatever that is for you. You may not be Martin Luther King, you may not be Malala, but you have a part. There's something that you're going to hear, that you're called to. So listen to them.
There
yeah,
was.
So did you get told what you were supposed to do? Anyway, so that's how
Thank you, Trina. I just don't know if I'm going to have anything left to say when it's my turn. Well, of course, you all know that's not true. So would somebody please get the lights? We're going to move into, thank you, Trina. That was really cool. I know, wasn't it good? I know. Be sure to watch the YouTube, right? Because you guys can see, because this is live streaming and video. Take a peek at that again. Brian, how about it?
All right, so it's interesting with the voice thing. Everything is, if you're a musician, everything's like down a fifth today from what I would normally sing. So it's an interesting thing. You've all heard this before.
Love this song.
My heart is open and my mouth is closed. Pain and fear, no, I don't need those. Sunset, sunrise, seeing this world with my own two eyes. It's tough, but it is good. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul.
Wake up early, gonna eat good food. I'm gonna spread this love. That's what I'll do for you and for me. I will love my neighbor. I will lend a hand. I will make this earth a sacred land for me and for you. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul. You better change right now like you know you should. You better change right now. Be some earthly good. Take a chance and fall in love with everyone. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul, with my soul. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul.
Just breathe that in. Just breathe it in. All is well. And for this, we are grateful.
And actually, this next one, if we could leave the lights off, it would fit the mood better. This was actually scheduled for after the message, and I figured it would actually be better before the message because it's heavier and we have a place to go for it. And this one would be better at the end of the message, so sorry, Penny. So there we go. I was watching a show called Reservation Dogs, if any of you are familiar with it. It follows, I forget the tribe name, some kids growing up in Oklahoma, part of the native tribe there. There's an episode about a character and how they were sent to boarding schools, and some of you may not know the history of Native American children being sent to boarding schools, being stripped of their language and their hair and their customs. And as I was watching it, this kind of melody appeared to me, and so it's trying to be written from the perspective of someone who's gone through it. And so in it is both grief and determination. So this is boarding school.
How about that? Sponsor Music Sunday. That was pretty impressive. Could you feel it? Did you feel that there was some joy, then there was fear, then there was grief? So thanks for that, because that does lead me into the message. And I will give you a fair warning right now, we're going to go over a little bit today. So take a deep breath. If you need to stand up, you need to wiggle around a little bit, because I got some stuff I need to share.
Turn that smart cheese cooker off.
So I was sharing with Sue mine. I said, I went out looking for a joke or a poignant story to open this Sunday's message, which is grief. So, and AI said, let me think about that. And Sue pointed out to me that was funny enough. And she never did get back to me. Grief is itself a medicine, William Cowper told us. Grief is an emotion. And we give more power sometimes to emotions, don't we? Different ones, different stuff, different, I don't know what I did there. Would you fix me back there? Thank you. I was going to black the screen out, actually. So, grief, it's an emotion. But it is one, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. I usually don't kind of go run, everybody look at me. This is all about me now. Come on. Come on now. All right. There you go. Just black it out. If you don't, it's fine. Turn it off. Apparently the Charlie Brown slide is gone. I don't know where it was. But was it there? Okay. Anyway. All right. Come on back to the room. Come on. All right. So grief is an emotion, and what I notice we do is we put it in a different box. We give it different value, we give it different meaning, at least I do, a lot of the time. Part of that is because I'm really not all that fond of it. Because, you know, I came to the planet to be joy. I did. So it's hard sometimes to find a slot to put grief. You know, we've been on this journey together. Uh-oh, wait just a minute. Okay. So we've been on this journey. I don't know what that happens. We've been on this journey together for a while. You know, this stint has been about 6.5 years here, right? Yeah, now, you know what? Lots of stuff, right? Cool stuff we've done. And then if you add all that time I was coming up here being a guest speaker, it's actually about 14 years. And you know what I discovered about myself? Is that when I'm grieving, I am superwoman. I am mega productive. I can get busier than I usually am busy. That's how I noticed I have been processing the grief of leaving this community. Yeah. How do you guys do it? How do you process grief in your life? Do you give it any thought? Do you give yourself enough leeway and enough room? Because I don't know that I do, for me. And then that might actually be interpreted as maybe I'm just not really grieving leaving here at all. And grief is a tough spot to move to. It's a lot easier to get busy. It's a lot easier to isolate. It's a lot easier to disconnect. And you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to walk through this amazing time that this community is creating right now. And we're going to feel everything that hurts and everything that feels good about it. And I am committed to being present to you with that. Because I can't say that I have been for a couple of weeks. That wasn't in the notes. And I can tell you all about the difference of what loss and grief, the difference in the definitions. Loss, of course, is it refers to the event. It refers to the expression, if you will. And grief is the actual emotion. And what I can tell you is this: when grief is expressed and acknowledged, now that's the kicker, acknowledged, it becomes a gateway to a deeper acceptance. We get to move closer to that radical acceptance that you were talking about, Trina. We get to get more comfortable with surrender. We just get to start to see the good and the grief. And we can see that it can also be good grief. Again. I asked a question in Thursday night's class. I asked the question, where do you see grief expressing in your life? We're giving up a lot of things right now. It feels like there's a lot of loss in the world. Is it just me? And I'm not just talking about the political arena, but I am talking about the political arena. We're giving up a lot of things. Things are being let go, a lot of people, right? A lot of jobs changing, all this infrastructure, all these things looking a little different. And you may think that's about that, but we are one. And when we feel that grief and that loss at any place on the planet, we all are subject to some kind of impact to that. Because, you know, darn it, it's that oneness thing. We're connected. So we feel, you feel that in the room right now? Feel it. I want you to notice the room right now. Feel it? I knew that could happen when you talk about grief. So take a deep breath. I want you to feel it right here. Grief is a tool. Where in your life have you acknowledged something? And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a major loss. It could be that, you know, I don't know, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, and I feel a little sad about that, or I feel some loss around that. There's grief in that, even the simplest of things. And to give enough grace and enough room to be with that, to be with it. I dubbed our little time here in the ministry right now as Project Onward. Project Onward. And we're going to have some phases to that. We're going to see things change. Sean stepping up, and yes, operations manager. So we're going to step into pastoral care, and we are so blessed. We open up space so that there's time for the perfect minister to make manifest into this community. And we give our search committee room while we continue to be supported. And there's grief. It's a great plan and it's working fabulously. And there's grief. So, do you guys acknowledge your losses? Today being Super Bowl Sunday, they'll talk all about lots of wins and losses, and this column and that column, and they'll do it in an elevated volume, and they'll wear really cool ties, and they'll, push and shove, and rah, 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 a lot of bravado, and we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about that. Let's rumble! Come on now, Penny. I used to have season tickets. I went to the Super Bowl, so I can't stand up here and act like I don't love that stuff, because I do. So, but what I can tell you is they're going to give you lots of stats today about wins and losses. But I have a little piece of information about the Super Bowl. The Ice Bowl in 1967, they called it, the NFL Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers, versus the Dallas who? And it was known as the Ice Bowl because the temperatures ranged, believe it or not, as low as 15 degrees below zero, and the wind chill factor, this is always the fun part, the wind chill factor was negative 48. I don't even want to know the people that were stupid enough to sit outside and watch that game. Little fun facts, right? Somebody won and somebody lost that day. Everybody froze. But somebody won and somebody lost that day. And as simple as that may seem, there's still grief in a loss like that. And every time we give ourselves permission to recognize that we're letting something be lost, we're letting something go, every time we give ourselves permission to do that, we transform grief into something that serves us. We can move into a place of grief from a place of knowing. All the good and all the not so good is all temporary. And our losses remind us that we are infinite and that we go beyond anything that we think we see or know here. That everything is connected. We're back to that oneness thing. And as far as anybody can ever get from us is a thought or a prayer away. That's as far as someone can get from us. And we miss people physically. I am sure you guys are going to take a big old deep breath and say, whew, a few Sundays without her dancing around up there might be good. That'll be all right. But you'll miss me. And I'll miss you. We'll miss this. But this is temporary. This is not. See, that's the cool thing that grief reminds us of. It's a stage. It's an emotion. It's a spot in time. And we can access that to bless us. We can. We really can. Grief can be seen as both a burden and a gift, as they teach in the Yupa Zen Center. It can lead to a greater sense of self and a deeper sense of connection. And I'm not saying run out there and try to find something to grieve about. Maybe you're not grieving at all. You're thinking, this is a bummer of a talk. I was doing just fine till I came in here. Right? I'm I'm not saying you have to grieve. What I'm saying is open to the possibility that when you do feel like you need to, do that, allow that, and then look at it. All those unseen losses, all those invisible losses, all that unaddressed grief. And it is way beyond my pay scale to tell you that I'm a grief counselor, because I am not. But there are some good ones. Find them. Support yourself. Believe in the fact that the grief has come to serve you. And find people. Be in rooms. Stay in community that support you through that. And there are many phases. And I'm not going to go into them. We're going to be out of time. But the invitation today is this. Are you willing to acknowledge and recognize grief in your life? And are you willing to allow it to serve you and be a tool to heal? That's the invitation. That's the question today. I remember standing on Broadway. Well, I wasn't on Broadway, but I was on Broadway. And I was standing with a group of friends, and we had traveled to New York, my first time to New York, and I got a phone call. And it was a number I didn't actually recognize because it was my mom and dad's, and they just didn't do a lot of calling. So I thought I'd better take that call, and that's when I found out that my mother had passed. So I'm standing on Broadway, and I'm getting this information, and I'm standing with these fabulous people all in a circle. So I say this into the circle, and everyone in the circle had an experience. Some had the memory of losing their mothers. Some had the fear of losing their mothers. Some wondered where their mothers were, right? Everybody was having their own experience. And I noticed that in allowing them to experience that, there was a little, they kind of want to impose their grief on you. You should be experiencing it that way. Not so much. But I could appreciate and empathize with everybody having a different experience. Good grief is where we want to move to in grief. And with all those different expressions, a story was shared with me on Friday evening. And it was Mike Taylor, Sue's husband, that shared this with me. He said on October 25th of 2016, it would have been the 18th birthday of Miss Bonnie Jordan Heights. Mike met the family on a street corner in downtown Flagstaff. Mike felt blessed immediately as he watched Miss Bonnie's mom and her aunts and her sisters so joyfully hand out white roses in honor of Miss Bonnie. It was evident by the card that was attached to those white roses that they had managed to take their grief and turn it into a blessing. And it said this: we celebrate and spread light in your honor. Your passing deserves our tears. Your memory deserves our sunshine. Allow yourself to heal. Let grief be a tool. Be blessed by it, my friends. We're going to have a song. I'm going to have you, while you're listening to the song, consider what you see on the screen. Is there grief in your life that weren't recognized that could serve you now? Start with the little ones. Start with the little griefs, maybe. But is there a grief that is unrecognized in your life that could serve you in your spiritual journey? We're here to support you in that. Be blessed, my friends.
This last one that I'm doing is it's an old Bob Dylan tune. It's not a super well known Bob Dylan song. I always find that people, I don't know that one. But it's called "If Tomorrow Isn't Such a Long Time." There's like a sense of waiting for something to be less of a grief or less of a hard time. So yeah, it's a classic. If tomorrow was not,
today was not a crooked highway, if tonight was not a lonesome trail, if tomorrow wasn't such a long time, then lonesome mean nothing at all to you. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear his heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if he was lying by me would I lie in my bed once again. I can't see my reflections in the water, I can't speak the sounds that show no pain, I can't hear the echo of my footsteps or remember the sound of my own name. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear his heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if he was lying by me would I lie in my bed once again. There's beauty in that silver singing river, there's beauty in the sunrise in the sky, but none of these things, nothing else can touch the beauty that I remember in my true love's eyes. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear his heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if he was lying by me would I lie in my bed once again.
Yes, his head is cut off, and that's intentional because in order to use the image, you can't use the whole image. Yeah. So it is, thank you. So thank you, Ryan. That was fabulous. That was really nice. That's nice. Yeah, can you ever go wrong with Bob Dylan? Well, not in my world, you can, but.
You can if you are Bob Dylan.
So we are preparing for our time of abundance at this time, and we're thanking Sue Mine for having done the basket blessing last weekend. So thank you for that. And again, we're welcoming Sue Mine to be our basket blesser. We are grateful that Sue is around and she does those things for us. So let's bring those baskets down here because we're going to bless them. Bless. Okay, take a deep breath. So this is the time in our service that we say, okay, folks, we like lights and we like the sanctuary and we like having a minister, we like hiring a new operations manager, we like all those things, right? And thank you for making that possible. And thank you for sustaining it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So money might not solve all problems, but it sure can make the ride more interesting. How about that? We appreciate our YouTube viewers. Everybody wave at our cool camera back there on the top of our new AV desk. Did you see that? Are we cool? Man, Sean turned me on to the NAU surplus place. Watch out, baby. All right. So we appreciate our YouTube viewers. As we said before, thanks for going to that donate button and showing your appreciation for us. We're grateful, or mail that check in. We're happy to receive it that way too. Would you please stand, because we're going to bless these baskets. And I thought we could stand up a little bit. We've been sitting a while. Here we go. Together we affirm divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and and all that I receive. Thank you, Spirit. All right, kids, go on out there and you can sit down if you're ready to, because now I'm going to blab some more about Project Onward. That's what we're calling this new phase, this new thing we're moving into. Because with my going away, we've discovered that there are a few tasks on the list of things that I do that maybe other ministers might not want to do. So we have remedied that by looking to having Sean McKernan. Come on up here, Sean. We are affirming it now, Project Onward, because as I get closer to my little retirement, this guy is going to be, yeah. So we hired this guy, right? And so we're now in phase 2, aren't we? And he's having so much fun. He gets to shadow me every day.
Also, I have to give a plug for nepotism. I've known Sean since I was like in 7th grade. So.
Yeah, and we won't hold that against him. And so, all right, you can go back to the corner. Oh my heavens! Behind your nice new AV desk. That's where we're putting it. So we're in phase 2 right now, and we're having a good time with it. Phase 3, as I mentioned earlier, Selena will be moving into the pastoral care. And in phase 3, I will fade out as a part-time minister. We'll see how well I do with that. Right? But that's my commitment. Because by that point, Sean will have the operations and the maintenance and all of that down. The administrative duties that Selena's been doing, she's going to pass those over to Sean. And then she's going to take over and start and be in pastoral care. Again, this serves our search team. Because Selena is going to be that person that can pray with you, that will pray with you. She'll be chaplain trained. We're going to send her through chaplain training. And yeah, round of applause. Aren't we excited? Holy. And please help the search committee. Because they are manifesting the perfect ministerial candidate. That's what they're doing right now. Project Onward, so thank you. And again, we're going to feel this a little bit because there's going to be some overlap in our financials. So if you're feeling generous, and I don't know, you see that board out there that says tax returns? We're taking tax return checks if you're happy. And we want to support this because these phases will carry this ministry through and open up infinite possibility of the expression of who we are.
Just leave your social security number with Sean.
Sean's collecting social security numbers.
I keep them safe.
That'll make you popular, won't it, Sean?
Yeah.
Come on down here with those baskets. Let's stand again because we need to do a little more spiritual aerobics. All right. Bless these gifts together, we say, bless these gifts. We receive all of our good. We give freely from our good. And so it is. Thank you, God. When you see these people, I want you to tell them thank you because these people are working overtime. These volunteers, we're going to double their pay. They are working hard. We're going to reprise now, too. Take it away, Ryan. All right, my friends. Thank you.
Up above my head. Oh, let's get a little loud. I started way too unenthusiastic.
Yeah.
I don't got much voice. You got a birthday. Up above my head. I hear music in the air. Up above my head. I hear music in the air. Up above my head. I hear music in the air. I really do believe there's a joy somewhere.
Namaste.
that screen, I didn't realize we had all those inputs. Oh my God.
Yeah.